Wow. You guys, holy BYU breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Did you guys see this? Is this true? I'm going to double check this, but look at this graphic. If you are a BYU fan, hands above the table, friends, because you're going to want to pleasure yourself. This is a big deal. Do you guys know? Wow. Holy cow, this is a big deal. Do you guys know who this is right here? This is Caleb Etienne, the starting left tackle for Oklahoma State last year.
It is confirmed. Mitch Harper's tweeting it.
Wow, this is a massive get for BYU football. Holy Toledo. Caleb Etienne comes to Provo from Stillwater. Holy cow, he was in the transfer portal like 12 seconds. Wow, is that a big get for BYU? Holy cow. Thank you, Thomas, who sent me that. Wow, that is a big, big deal. That is, see, and this is, again, you guys are going to think that I'm playing. I'm telling you, BYU is not the same old BYU.
He has 2 years of eligibility remaining as well.
He has been the starting left tackle in Stillwater. I tweeted about this morning, and I told you this is another red flag. And if you can put, I would assume he's going to start on the right because Kingsley Suamataia will start on the left for BYU. If you can put Suamataia, Lapuahu, I would think Connor Pay at center. I would think Paul Maley at right guard, and then Caleb Etienne at right tackle. You're good to go.
And Mike Gundy's being real classy about this too, by the way.
No, he's not.
He's not.
Wow.
He said, quote, Caleb felt he got beat out of a starting job, so he left. Thanks, dude.
Well,
Thank
I mean,
you.
you can say what you want to say. This is the issue in Stillwater right now. And you have to ask yourself this. I mean, am I the only one who thinks this is a problem for Oklahoma State?
Yeah, I mean, you can't be losing top end offensive line talent. You can't.
They're coming out of a year that was a disaster for them.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you're an Oklahoma State fan, this is terrifying now.
Yeah.
Because you're losing top tier talent. And I think this is somewhat scary. If you're an Oklahoma State Cowboy fan, I think you're in trouble because you can keep saying that this kid got beat out. And we can keep talking about the fact that, hey, this is a problem and no big deal. Nothing to see here until there's something to see here. Mm-hmm. And now there's something to see here because it's not accidental he committed in the conference. And yeah, did he commit at a place where he knew he would probably be a starter? Yeah, he did. Is that a problem? No, that is BYU's game. And I'm telling you now that this is a massive get for BYU.
Yeah, I mean, I think that BYU's concern has always been, recruiting in the Big 12 in year one and figuring out like, hey, can we compete and will kids believe that they can get to the league through our program versus Baylor's, let's say, or Oklahoma State's or whatever, any other program in the Big 12, like, will they believe that we can provide them the path that they could get at other institutions? And clearly this kid did. I mean, clearly this is a vote of confidence. And I think that, if you're a BYU fan, you're obviously thrilled about this. But I'm still going to maintain what I've maintained since last year ended. You can have an amazing offensive line, but who's slinging the rock, man? Because you don't have much back there right now. And sorry if I'm not a big believer in Slovis and some of the other guys you got back there. Like, they need to prove that they can throw it, but certainly, without a doubt, solidifying your left tackle position for a right-handed quarterback is absolutely cash.
And obviously, you guys saw over the weekend that Keaton Slovis was named the starting quarterback. You cannot have enough offensive linemen for him.
But do you see my point with that, though? Like, even though they named him the starter, like, how long is he going to last as your starter? Because, like, I just don't buy that the guy's going to be your starter all year.
Well, the issue is that Keaton Slovis has never shown the ability to be an accurate quarterback, especially outside the pocket.
Yeah.
And I think you were worried about the depth. You were worried about protecting him, and I think this offensive line, especially if it plays the way that we think it's going to play with Suamatai on the left and Etienne on the right, I think you're in a really strong spot here. Because Connor Pay is going to start somewhere on that offensive line. It's just a matter of where. But I think Caleb Etienne is a really good get for BYU. There's no way. And I across the Big 12, I think we all recognize that BYU is probably the 12th team, or at this point, the 16th team in that conference this season. I don't see any way that you can argue that. Like, they are at the bottom of the heap when it comes to talent projections. It's going to be a really difficult climb. This makes that climb a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because Caleb Etienne brings incredible size. He's an athletic beast. And that's a guy that is going to be here now for, I would think, 2 years. Unless he has a really incredible season this season, he's going to be here for 2 seasons. And I think this is and the other thing that this is, and you call me crazy, this is a really encouraging sign for BYU football that you're able to go and get top talent. That's what this is. And you feel like now that you're able to go and compete in the transfer portal for guys like Etienne, because this is a guy that was going to have a lot of competition. He was somebody across the league, and I think really across the country, that probably could have gone just about anywhere he wanted to go. BYU offered him, I think, very clearly a spot to start. He knew he was going to be one of the tackles, left or right. He knew that. And I think that makes a difference. But BYU's on TV a lot because they bring a lot of butts to the seats. I think he knew that they were going to play big games. I think he knew he'd get seen. I think he knows that NFL scouts go to BYU. I think Caleb Etienne made a really smart choice here, Jake, and I feel like this is a really big tip of the cap to the offensive side of the football and Kalani Sitake's ability to close a guy like this.
Yeah, especially after coming off of the heels of a season where the offense was a big time issue. Coming off of a season where your offense kind of sputtered at times, and obviously the defense had its big time share of problems. But I just think that BYU fans left last season feeling like, hey, there's a lot of instability in the program right now, and obviously, you go and you upgrade your coaching staff, and you've joined a new conference, and there's a lot of momentum, of course, but the proof is in the pudding. And I think anytime that you can get top tier talent, as we keep saying, it's a good day. And I think specifically when that top tier talent's on your offensive line, that would be an encouraging sign for, I don't know, actually being able to run the football at some point this year, being able to get some play action going, because that's what you're going to need to do. It's not going to be good enough just to give it to Keaton Slovis and say, all right, dude, you've got 2.5 seconds to find someone down the field. That's not going to work in the Big 12. You're going to have to run the football. You're going to have to be effective with it. It's going to have to be a thing that you lean on. And then if you can run the football, then you will be afforded the opportunity to pass. So the fact that you're going out and you're aggressively pursuing offensive line talent makes perfect sense to me, and I think you just have to be happy if you're a BYU fan. Yeah,
I think this is a massive day. If you are a BYU fan, this is a very, very big day, because I think when you look at where BYU is, and you look at the recruiting, and you look at how all this has played out. Man, you feel like now you can compete at least. That makes you feel better. Again, this is just my opinion. It makes you feel better about the Keaton Slovis being your starting quarterback, because anytime you have a guy, and if you guys agree or disagree, I'd love to hear from you in the comments on this. Anytime you have a guy that's bumped around the country, and it's not like he was at Waxahachie and like Tarleton State. He was at USC and Pitt, and he couldn't get the job done, and he transferred twice. So anytime you have a guy doing that, dude, that's a big freaking deal.
That's right, T.
That is a big, big deal.
Yep.
So the idea that Caleb Etienne commits to BYU, I think, I saw you tweeted Mitch Harper may be projecting that Etienne starts at right tackle.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Yeah.
I think Kingsley Suamataia is absolutely the right guy to put at left tackle. This is a big, big deal. This is a big, big deal.
Yes.
And when we come back, we got to tell you about Papa Murphy's Pizza, but the odds for the NBA draft are out. Where did the Jazz land? So the Jazz don't make the playoffs, right? The Dallas Mavericks don't make the playoffs. The odds are out now for these guys in the draft lottery. And I'm curious to see you guys react to this. We'll do that next, including James, your beloved OKC Thunder. But anytime you think about dinner tonight, make sure you order your Papa Murphy's Pizza. Download the Papa Murphy's Pizza mobile app and use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more.
At Papa Murphy's, we do more than just pizza. We do meatballs and marinara.
Papa Murphy's does meatballs?
Oh, I think you mean I do the meatballs and marinara?
And how do you do it, Dad?
How do I do it? How do I do it?
Well, we do it with savory ground beef
Covered in tangy marinara. That's how, honey.
At Papa Murphy's, we make great pizza.
And don't forget the meatballs.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
Use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more. Again, traditional crust, right? And I'm happy to fight you in the comments section today because apparently it's everybody being pissed off at the world. So let's throw. No, let's not.
Whatever.
Put your hands. Put them on top of the table because you know. Anyway,
fuck you.
That's love the sinner, hate the. Anyway, the point is, traditional crust, barbecue sauce, herb mix, cheese, extra onion, extra mushroom, pop it on the smoker, 25 minutes. Done. The best pizza, I'm telling you. The best pizza always comes from Papa Murphy's Pizza. Let's see. Match Snell says Golden Blue Dude. Okay, what about him? May he rest in peace. Michael Peck says BYU has recruiting challenges that Utah doesn't. Unlikely they'll be able to overcome that anytime soon. No, it's a 5-year climb. It's a 5-year climb. There's no doubt about that. Gary says Arch Manning needs to come to Utah. Wishful thinking. Yeah, well, he's not starting at Texas, by the way. Did you guys see that? Man, that is rough. I mean, that's difficult. Arch Manning did not win the job at Texas. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be interesting. There are plenty of toast for all the butter. BYU got better. Utah needs a TV deal. Facts. DeLambo, BYU is going to flip the recruiting table on Utah. Well, in the state, they've come close. Well, let's see what the Big 12 does to BYU's recruiting, because I'm not ready to say that yet. CKS says, LOL, sure, Jacob DeLambo. Utah is 2-3 deep and too deep on the O-line. Utah is much, much, much deeper.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not even a conversation today at the moment, right? Robert Moffat says Texas QB1 is yours. It is. I think that you should have started Arch Manning. That's what I would have done. Mm-hmm. That's just my opinion, because he needs development time, and you only get that through playing. So, but again, this is the issue at Texas. I'll just continue to say this. Until they win and win big, and I don't mean, hey, Big 12 SEC, I mean until they start competing for a college football playoff spot. Steve Sarkisian ain't that dude.
Yeah.
And I know that we have talked long and hard about this on this show, and I know that we have battled repeatedly about Steve Sarkisian. I am not a Sark guy.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he had addiction issues at USC, has been well documented and reported. Okay, cool. What has he shown you at Texas where you're like, dude, this is a dude.
Yeah. Nothing.
You don't, and everybody will always say, well, they almost beat Alabama. There's no such thing as almost beat Alabama. Did you? Oh, you didn't.
No.
You didn't. That's right. You didn't. And now Arch Manning commits to Texas and you don't start him. I think it's a mistake.
It is what it is.
On principle alone, I think it's a mistake. But that's just me.
Yeah, I completely agree.
That's just me. It is what it is, dude. Starry says BYU will have the advantage when Utah moves to the Mountain West. See what he did there?
Yeah.
See what he did there?